This week in Kentucky, Clint and I were able to find success on 2 nice whitetails because of our ability to pair trail camera intel with what we found with boots on the ground scouting. And this hunt, although it was early September, it really began about a month before that in early August. Clint and I came down to the property for 3 or 4 days to do some boots on the ground scouting and just get a lay of the land. And our goal was simple. By the end of the week, we wanted to have the tools in place to identify target deer for our hunt a month later in September. And we did that by first scouting everything, and then before we left, we hung trail cameras on all these ridges and across this creek corridor. And what that, in our mind at least, did was it covered the travel corridors. So we would have, when we returned, an idea of general areas that these deer would be using in September during our hunt. When we arrived back in September, our plan again was simple. We wanted to check all of our cameras and just get an idea of the general areas that seemed to be holding deer. Our best deer pictures came from these 4 ridges in the middle of the property and the creek corridor. So what we did is we got in there and did a little boots on the ground scouting, of course being as low pressure as possible not to spook those deer. And we identified some hunt locations that allowed us to hunt the edge of their core area without actually spooking them. And that plan ultimately worked out perfectly. Clint hunted here on Middle Ridge and killed his buck, and I aired my doe down here on what we call Graveyard Ridge. You can't just rely on technology, and it's not as productive to just rely on woodsmanship. You need to pair them both together. You need to take the Browning trail camera intel, pair it with fresh scrapes, rubs, any sign that you're seeing on the ground, and that is how you can develop a plan to hunt a target buck's core area.